I got this amazing Ferrari, putting in 87 gas. How are you gonna perform? If I wanna be premium, I gotta have a premium mindset to match a premium work ethic. And I used to go to the club with Tupperware. If you wanna actually achieve something, locate your balls, use them, and focus on killing it every day. I'd rather have my friend cry on my shoulder than end up carrying his coffin in 2 weeks, because 80% of suicides are from men.
Hey guys, this is Ari from Enlance Marketing, and this is episode 3 of our podcast. And today we have a very special guest, somebody I'm very excited for, Mr. Mike Wheels himself.
What's up, guys? Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Of course.
So, you're a bodybuilder. You're
yes,
like one of the best in Canada,
I appreciate that.
I think you are the best in Canada.
I'm not going to argue that, so I'll just say thank you.
Your personality as well. You have a big social media following. Talk to me. Where did this come from?
Growing up, I was big into sports.
Yeah.
But I think the turning point for me was once, I feel like family issues started happening, because I always loved team sports, and obviously bodybuilding is the opposite of that. So to be successful in bodybuilding, all your efforts are basically accumulated day after day to either be successful or to waste time, because you're investing a lot into it. So if you want to do something with it, it's all on you. And I basically took that on my back because it was easy for me to isolate myself and just focus on one thing without having to worry about other teammates to be successful like I was used to in hockey.
Yeah.
Right? So with bodybuilding, it just came natural, man, because I was trying to get out of a bad lifestyle. So what else better to do than to go to the gym and take your frustrations out, on weights. And I love the fact that I can be successful on my own. So I just kind of took that path, man. And I'm like, you know what, since I'm investing a lot of time in this and I love it, maybe I should start competing. And then, I was 21 at that time, and then it kind of just rolled from there.
I just came naturally.
Yeah, it came naturally, man. I feel like, it was definitely something God put me on the path to do because of all the pain I was going through mentally, and just trying to find myself as a kid. It just, once I was introduced to the gym, it was just meant to be for me. Like, it fit like a glove, and I just absorbed it all, and I ran with it. It felt right, so I'm like, okay, let's do this.
So, you talked about how you used to be a team sport player.
Yes, sir.
A lot of team sports. Sir. Was that transition very hard for you? You started competing properly when you're 21.
Yeah, so it wasn't because, again, if you're kind of having a rough home life, you can't be like, well, I can't wait for Saturday to go to practice with my team. It's like Monday, Tuesday. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? Yeah. And this is how I looked at it, to help get myself out of doing drugs or changing my lifestyle. I'm a very extreme person, so it had to be something that I was just going in 100%. Because if I wait till Saturday, for hockey practice, it's just not enough.
Yeah.
I need something 24/7 to get my mind off of what I was doing before and to deviate myself into, getting in trouble. Yeah. So that's why training for me was just I could do it all the time. And then after I'm done training, I got to be cooking. I got to be on top of getting my meals in. So it's a 24-hour thing, and I love that because I felt like that really pulled me in a direction where I could actually not be a degenerate and end up, maybe in jail or whatever the other substitutes were at the time.
There's a man of discipline over here, right?
You got to be. I feel like to be successful, you gotta just fully jump into whatever it is you're doing, because there's other people who will. Yeah. So if you're not going to do it, they will, and you won't be successful. So I always tell competitors, why are you actually competing? If it's just for social media, okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if you can use it for your business. But if you're just doing it for clout and some likes and stuff like that, it's not really worth it, because it's a big sacrifice in it. And, if you're going to be successful at it, it's going to take more than just one show. Yeah. So if you want to do it, you got to go all in. Because if you're up against guys like me, I don't have the best genetics, but I will work you under the table. Yeah. So, and that's something I feel like a lot of, that's kind of missing in today's day and age, is that grit.
Yeah, hard work.
Because a lot of people, man, they like the constant pats on the back. And if you're going to be successful, you got to be okay with delayed gratification. Yeah. So I think that's a big thing that lacks in today's day and age.
So you've been in this game for a very long time. 19
yeah, man,
years
20
now.
years, 20 plus years.
I'm 20, so you've been
doing
it
your whole life. Yeah, man, I've been in this.
Have you seen a change from social media as well, from what you started?
100%, man. When I started competing, social media wasn't really a thing. There was Facebook. You'd have to go on your PC at home to log in and see. So there was no filming at gyms and stuff like that. That was not a thing back in 2007 or 8 even. So when you used to go to shows, it was just a lot more love, and I find that you don't even know who you're competing against. Nowadays, they know who they're competing against. They're always comparing themselves, which again could kind of beat you up mentally. Yeah. And there's not as much love because like people see someone else doing good or getting good content or whatever it is, or lifting more than them at the gym, or again, being in really good condition. They'll hate instead of like being like, hey, good for you. God bless. I wish you well. Yeah. I feel like the camaraderie has been lost over the whole social media generation. And I feel that because people are always comparing themselves, they don't know how to just like stay in the pocket, stay focused, suffer, grind, and know that at the end of it, you're going to look the best you ever have because, again, you want constant pats on the back. So guys aren't getting as big in the off season because if you're not lean, you're not getting as much credit, or the chicks aren't messaging you as much because you look like maybe a little bit like the Michelin Man, which is kind of part of the process, right? When you're really trying to level up, that's how I was able to really, like every year I was jumping weight classes. Yeah. And in order to do that, you're not going to be shredded year round. So again, delayed gratification. The comparisons with beef and joy.
So, you post on social media a lot, organic content. Like, how is that translated for you as a trainer? Like, does it help you get clientele?
Yeah, of course. I feel like as people want to look a certain way, guys want to gain muscle. So if they see someone with muscle, they figure this guy's got to know what he's talking about. Yeah. He's a pro bodybuilder. He's been doing it for 20 years. He probably knows a thing or two.
So, posting on social media helps.
Yeah, it helps. But also, like, there's a lot of people who are fit. So I feel like if people connect with you as a person, it's the same reason why people will drive past barbershops to go to another barber. It's rapport, right? So people feel comfortable. They know I'm real. They know I have their back. They know I'm not a scammer. So, yeah, they watch my content. And, yeah, they usually at least call for a consult. They don't always sign up. But, I know I got the support. So
see, that's really deep, cool.
Yeah.
So, your gym, your marketing, stuff like that. Do you think you as a business owner, that grit comes from the amount of work you put in the gym?
Yeah, like I'm always looking to better myself. I'm not like, the absolute best with marketing. But again, like I was saying before, because I like to focus on training, marketing is like a whole ocean that I could always get better in. But I do like to try to focus in on marketing as much as I can within my reach, and it has helped me. But definitely, I think my traumas and everything I've been through has given me an extreme mindset, and I've just translated that into business.
So, Mike, you've been in the game for 20 years, right? How have you seen social media change? And, where do you see it going in the future?
I feel like nowadays people don't need as much of accomplishments to build a massive social media brand because a lot of it is marketing. And that could be a downside because I could know nothing, but again, know the algorithms, knows what the algorithm wants and feed it. And that algorithm is now exposing it to, hundreds of thousands or millions of people. Meanwhile, there could be someone who is very knowledgeable, but they're not marketing themselves, right? Which is the nature of the game. But I feel like social media has just amplified that. Yeah. So I definitely see it projecting in the same direction. And that's up to the people who are purchasing this product. At the end of the day, that is in their hands. If they feel this person is good for knowledge or just because they have amazing marketing and all these things. So that's up to them.
So you've been in this game for a very long time. Yeah. You've seen teenagers go from like the early 2000s, the middle of the 2010s to now 2020s.
Yeah.
What's some trends you've seen along the way with how bodybuilding's progressed as like a norm?
I feel like bodybuilding, I personally like the older generation better, the looks from like the 90s. And it was because there wasn't this distraction from social media. And at the end of the day, yes, social media is great for marketing yourself and making money in other ways, but it is a distraction. Yeah. It is because now when you're in the gym, a lot of guys have their tripods or they have people filming them. They're focused on that. It's like if you're really in the zone and you're trying to kill it, you're just focused on catching your breath, not fainting on a leg day, and zoning in on what you're about to do and just killing it without like me talking to you or us, getting in the way essentially, and that's kind of like I heard Jay Cutler talk in many interviews when he said back in the day when like people would just start filming in the gym, he's like, look, if you're coming, don't talk to me, don't get in my way, don't touch the weights, like just be there in the background, which I feel is cool, but again, it's not as personal. So people nowadays are trying to grow their brand based off like personalities, and it can be conflicting to intensity in the gym.
Like if you're gonna go there, just go
100%, man, and that's why for me, like on social media, I don't have a lot of gym stuff. If I do, it's like a buddy. I say, hey, hold this camera, stand here, don't fucking move, and I'm gonna, get in there and kill it. But it's very hard to do both. So I feel like nowadays you're either an amazing content creator or you're an amazing, bodybuilder. Yeah. Some guys have been able to like kind of straddle both sides, but I feel like it's not as common.
Yeah. So you've seen like the ups and downs and everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into the talks of like peptides and steroids. Yeah. Those are things that are blowing up on social media now. It's kind of the norm for kids to take them.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of experience. You've been in the game for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know, like, how do you feel about that stuff?
I feel like, unfortunately, steroids are attracting people who don't have any experience in the industry, and never mind the industry, just with training and diet, because they see the attention guys are getting from girls, or more, also more likes and more attention possible, like, maybe more contracts with companies. They're not learning anything in the process. Anyone could just jump on a cycle, and because your receptors are very fresh and you don't have experience with eating, if you jump on a cycle and you start eating more, you're going to blow up.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean A, it's healthy for you, and it doesn't mean B, you're learning anything. Before I took anything, I was natural for years. I did shows natural for years because I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
And again, at the time, it wasn't as not that it wasn't as it wasn't as common. People still did it, but it was like not as pushed. Yeah. Nowadays, you have guys that, they're using their social media, like they're using the gear to push their social media with all this, like, gear content. Yeah. And then people fall into it because they think it's cool or it's acceptable. There's side effects, guys. There's side effects, guys. Do your research. Don't just, say I want to train and get big and start running cycles. It's the wrong thing to do. And trust me, I've been natural for years. I've competed at a professional level, and I also had heart disease. I don't know. I know we could probably touch on that, and some people know about that. But I got diagnosed with heart disease when I was like 29, and I was even responsible. But when you're competing at that level, you push the limits, and there is kickback. And for people to think there's not kickback, they're wrong. There's kickback.
And the thing is, you're very open about it. I think a lot of bodybuilders,
100%.
they're not open with the fact that they were running something, they were doing something.
Because people want to be like, oh, I may take something, but it's minimal amounts, because they think the gear will discredit them. Yeah. I can give someone the exact same thing I'm taking, because they don't have this, and they don't have this in the gym, they'll never look like me. Also genetics. You can start training maybe intensely, your arms will develop quicker than mine. Yeah. My legs develop quicker, so you got to kind of take that in consideration as well. But yeah, there's a lot to consider, man. Yeah. There's a lot of variables when it comes to, training, and especially when you take gear, you got to be on your blood work more. You can't be out partying. I mean, you can, but it's just not going to work in your benefit, and it's very unhealthy. Which a lot of the guys, like, nowadays, they look good, and they want to go to festivals, and you go to the festival, but when you start dabbling in drugs with your cycle, especially nowadays, a lot of guys love trend. So you're running trend in the summer while you're drinking and taking, narcotics. It's not good. I mean, people are gonna do whatever they want. Whatever I say could be irrelevant to them. But I like to shine a light and hopefully just open people's minds a little bit.
John Skywalker.
100%. Yeah. You were mentioning him before.
Yeah, I showed you.
Yeah.
That's what happened to him, man.
And again, with a lot of things, don't realize with gear, a lot of people don't realize it could affect you psychologically as well, depending what you're taking, how much you're taking, for how long you're taking it. Yeah. And these are things that social media doesn't show. That's another thing, right? Yeah. Because if you see, let's say, someone's account, they're just huge and they run a cycle and they're big, you don't know anything else going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Right? This guy's, the relationship with maybe his girlfriend or his parents, or, a lot of things. He could be a disaster, but social media is showing you that this guy's jacked and maybe he gets a lot of girls, but there's so much more behind it. So it's just not all that. And I feel like young men, guys, it's so important that you look at everything as a whole and not just one-sided, because, it's kind of like yin and yang. There's good things about taking gear if you're very responsible, but there can also be very bad side effects. So I feel like it's important to not just push the positive aspects of gear, post everything. And that's what I like to do. Like, I've taken gear. I still take some gear, but there's negative that, I feel like people got to research. Yeah,
like Rich Piano, Ziz, those guys,
and I love Rich, but I know Rich also said he never wanted to get his heart checked and things like this because he didn't want to hear that maybe he was sick or maybe he wasn't doing well. Yeah. And I feel like that's why he passed early, because if he was on top of it earlier on, maybe he could have caught it. Yeah. His heart issues. But again, guys, be responsible. Because gear use is real, and again, it can be used in a positive way, but, you gotta not be a dickhead.
You heard it from the man, bro. Just listen to him.
Don't be a dickhead about it.
Like, he knows everything. Sure. So you're from Italy. You're Canadian as well.
Well, I'm born here. Yeah. My family's from
Italy.
From it, yeah.
So Italians, they're very big people, like strong people. They believe in fitness. They believe in a healthy lifestyle.
We're very passionate people.
And you guys love Italy. You guys are very passionate.
Man, we love Italy. We love our pasta. We love our food. We're very big on food.
So like when you were coming up, you want to be a bodybuilder. Like, was there a lot of encouragement from your folks at home? Or
Hell
was
no.
It like...
Hell no. Everyone thought I would I'd go to my nonna's house with Tupperware, and they say, our food isn't good enough. Yeah. And I say, no, this is clean. What, our food isn't clean? What are we, animals? Yeah. What are we eating out of a garbage can? And it's like, okay, I got to understand. They're not used to this. So I'd kind of break it down and say, hey, I want to gain muscles, and and kind of like dumb it down for them, because that old school mentality is not really accepting of like too much change within the family.
Yeah, a lot of ethnic kids, I think they go through the same thing.
100%. Yeah.
You think our food's bad? Like we're making it for you. It's like made at home.
And again, because the parents or the grandparents are so used to that, like it is kind of narrow-minded, right? Because they don't have an understanding of nutrition, that they kind of, eat like that, and they think anything outside of that is weird.
Yeah.
And I know, because I've had clients just like, oh, but I live at home, but my parents eat this, and I'm like, I was going through it too. Hey man, do your own groceries. You got to cook your own food. These are your goals. These aren't your parents' goals. Don't expect your parents to cater to your baby. Yeah. Your goals in life have to be your baby. You have to cater it. You have to milk it. You have to constantly be on it 24/7. It's not your parents' job either. You got to find yourself in your own identity.
Yeah, and I think that's something a lot of people don't even like consider before bodybuilding is. You could put your time in the gym, but if you're not eating afterwards, results aren't going to come.
It's useless, man. It's like me saying I got this amazing Ferrari. It's great, but I'm going to the gas station putting in 87 gas. How are you going to perform at that high end level? If I want to be premium, I got to have a premium mindset to match a premium work ethic, to match a premium diet. And it depends. Maybe you don't want to go that far, but I'm Italian. I'm an extreme person. Yeah. I feel like if you want to do something, you should be 100% in. Or don't waste your time with it.
Yeah, you make an asshole. You got to give it your all. Give it 110%.
Yeah, man, right? Exactly. And you're doing yourself a disservice, because you could do more, so why not do more? Yeah. It's kind of stupid, right? If you could be great, and you're like, yeah, but I'm going to just do practice once a week. Everyone else is doing it twice a week, and you're better. Imagine you did it 3 times a week, man. You get drafted to the NBA, for an example. Yeah. Why shun yourself of that? Why shun yourself of like your ancestors who have sacrificed so much, and your parents and your grandparents who have come from other countries and sacrificed so much to have you here? It's like you almost owe it to them to do your last name well and to be the best version of yourself, to also inspire people. Yeah. People are relying on you for inspiration.
That was
really good. Even with this podcast, man, you're going around, you're interviewing great guys like myself, and I know you guys interviewed local. Yeah. You guys are shining light on people who have been successful in their field, and that can inspire people. So you're helping the younger generation without you guys even knowing it. I think that's a great thing.
Thank you, man.
Of course. I speak the truth.
Yeah, literally. But you coming up in bodybuilding, I think a lot of people, especially like athletic parents, they look down on it. It's like, oh, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you want to do that to yourself? Like, how was it, you explain to people at home?
I think being on the stage too, like a thong doesn't help.
Yeah, like that's another thing.
Having pictures of like guys on your wall, and your mom's like, what is wrong with my kid?
Yeah, like that's I think a lot of people don't really like think about it, because a lot of parents are not very supportive of it. But you've been in the game for a very long time. Yeah. Like, have you seen it progress?
Parents aren't supportive because they don't understand. My parents weren't supportive until they understood. Yeah. My mom wasn't on board with it until I became serious with it. She saw how much I loved it, and I started winning shows, and then I don't know if she became on board with it because I started getting successful, or she got on board with it because she's like, my son loves it and he's not stopping, so I might as well get on board. Maybe that's something I have to ask her. I'm not sure. But regardless, she got on board, and even to this day, man, if I go to my mom's house, from all the crazy things we've been through, my relationship with my mom, my whole life has been very hard, but with food, it's almost like a different love language. Yeah. We could be upset at each other, but she's still, if I'm over, she's still gonna like help me out with food, which I have mad love for, because food at the end of the day is like the pillar and the backbone of bodybuilding. Yeah. So for her to be understanding of that, I have much love. So thank you for that, Mom.
Food is love. Everybody loves food.
Yeah, especially for Italians, it's a love language. It's funny because throughout my whole career, my mom would always say, like, 'cause I died through holidays and Christmas, and I feel like a part of her broke, even though I would still stay on point, and I kind of knew that. But when it came to like eating, it's like, when could you eat with us? Even if it's not the same food, even if it's me eating out of a Tupperware while they're eating and I'm at the table, I could see it brought love to her. Yeah. Yeah, because she was raised in the company and stuff. Yeah, it's just sharing that. And it's also like in Italian culture, eating at the same table is a sign of respect. Yeah. Like, it's like, if I don't like you, I hope you eat, but just not at my table. But if I like you, and we're cool, I want you to eat at my table. For me, it's like a sign of love and respect and trust. Yeah. That's a very big thing in Italian culture.
Yeah, in one of the Sopranos episodes, they actually talked about
that. There you go.
Yeah,
there
Uncle June didn't want to eat with them. There you go. Like, you're disrespecting me. Yeah. But in general, like, you're bodybuilding, you're working out. Like, do you think, like, the amount of time you put in the gym, is it supposed to show results right away? I think a lot of kids like my age, especially when they go to the gym, they want to see results right away.
You're gonna see faster results in the beginning because you're fresh to it. Like losing weight in the beginning is easy because you weren't on a plan. Now you're on a plan. Now you're doing cardio.
Yeah.
Now you're not eating McDonald's every day. So you're gonna, in the beginning, you'll see good results, and then you plateau, of course. But if you just love training, like for me, I always loved training and it kept me sane. So sometimes it's not even about muscle gains. It's about the mental aspect of just being able to go in there and focus with my headphones on and let out any anger. Yeah. And I also do a lot of my processing through training. It's like a form of meditation. If I'm training on my headphones in, I may reflect on things and I'm just in a complete zone, which has nothing to do with steroids or getting jacked. It's like, I love training.
Yeah.
When I was like on medication for my heart disease, there was no competing, there was no steroid, there was no nothing. It was just me broken and feeling hopeless. But when I went to the gym, I put my headphones on, that was my peace, man. And that brought me happiness. And I feel like if you genuinely love training, you're not really going to stop because you're not necessarily doing it for validation. And I know it kind of like is a little bit contrary because with bodybuilding, you do it for some kind of, gratification on stage and you want the judges to be accepting of your physique. But it's not always about that, man. Because at the end of the day, guys are going to go through their career. If they have a successful career, they're going to retire. And if you love training, it's just in your heart.
You just show up for yourself.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't got to tell you to do something you love every day.
Yeah.
It's in you. It's in your blood. And I think God blessed me with that ability. And hopefully, I'd like to think that I'm also using that to help motivate and inspire people from, kind of what I came from and what I've been through in life, and use fitness as a positive tool, keep kids off the streets, off of drugs, and stay focused on something positive.
See, like, at least you're actually putting in the time and effort to educate people.
Yeah,
I think 100%. A lot of, like, influencers nowadays, like, you go on TikTok, you see, like, some 6'4" jack motherfucker, and they're going to be like, yo, take this peptide, you're going to get super jacked.
Yeah, because, they probably have a promo code they're making money off.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. That's why I've been offered from a lot of people to have promo codes. If someone would like a peptide, I'd rather them call me and ask questions so I could fill them in instead of kids using my code that I can't help and reach out personally and educate. And maybe that's not the right decision for them, but if I have a promo code, it's just more so about my pocket instead of like, teaching people about what this does. Maybe there's some good side effects. There's some good effects, but there's also going to be side effects that come along with that. Yeah, and especially age dependent. And what else are they taking? Is it the right stack? Have they taken that other thing for too long? Are they taking too much of it?
Yeah.
Now, is this going to push them over the edge? Like, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked.
Like the transparency that you have, I don't think a lot of people in your industry are
They don't.
That, right?
Because they think that they're going to get, again, judged for what they take, or it's kind of still taboo in the industry a little bit. Now, social media, I feel like people have opened up. More so for follows and gains, like follows and shares and stuff like that. But I just feel like the more you're open about it, I want to help people, man. I graduated from social work. I love helping people. So if I'm able to help people, even if there's no credit in it for me, it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as I'm benefiting them in some way, I'm happy with that.
So, I think the big question is, when you started bodybuilding, when did you see it as a hobby and when did it switch to a career?
That's a good question. In the beginning, it was a hobby just to get my mind right and stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
And it's the only way I could deal with it with like, bad home life and me, doing drugs and hanging around idiots, essentially. That was a hobby at the time. It was a healthy hobby, but it was a hobby. And then I felt when I started competing, and I'm like, hey, I could get good at this, even though I sucked in the beginning. Because I placed last, man. Like, my first bunch of shows, I sucked.
Yeah.
But I loved it. So I'm like, I'm going to keep doing it because I like it. And then I got good at it because I liked it. And I was on top of the day-to-day things. Yeah. Right? You can't, like, screw off half the year like a lot of guys do because they like, it's an off season, so I'm going to like dirty bulk or any of this bullshit. If you want to be a professional, you need to think like a professional, operate like a professional before you become a professional. So you got to be on that kind of grind year round, because then you're just going to fall in the position of being a professional. Like, you got to manifest it and live it, and you'll fall into it.
You got to put like the foundation for the
100%. But it's also manifesting and being like, in my head, I'm like, I'm already a pro. I don't need the card to be pro.
Yeah.
Because I know I fucking outwork everybody. I'm on top of it. I live in a box like some people would say like a loser. Like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, yeah, but I'm focused though. Yeah. Like, you may be at the clubs and like, partying, and I kind of missed out on that in my 20s. But I also built a career, and that meant more to me because I loved it. I'm like, if I want to be good, How am I going to be great?
Yeah.
If I'm partying every weekend. And I used to go to the club with Tupperwares, man. Don't get me wrong. But when you're at the booth eating chicken and rice, everyone's drinking and there's girls, you start just feeling like an idiot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this ain't it.
You got to stay on here. You know?
I'm like, yeah, this ain't it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I liked isolating myself. And I still kind of do it to this day, to be honest.
Yeah. But, you know, it shows, like, your results show.
Thank you.
Even, like, who you are as an individual. I think you're very open, very like, easy coming to talk to.
Yeah.
But let's go back to that manifestation thing. You know, I think so far with the 2 people that we interviewed before you, manifestation is a very big part in their career.
Because if you don't believe, this is the thing, if you don't believe it, how are other people going to believe it? And if you don't believe in it, then it's not going to happen. Because if you're like, well, maybe I could do it, you're not thinking in the light of what someone would think who's already done it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you want to do something great, it's also good to have role models to look up to. But if you're not putting yourself in the person who you need to be to achieve it, how are you going to just fall into that?
Yeah. Like, if you can't see it.
If you can't see it, man, you cannot believe it.
Yeah.
You need, and that's why people like, some people would say like, people used to call me crazy because I'd, missing body parts. I had coaches send me my money back because I said, I want to achieve this. And they're like, this guy's like crazy. He's not doing this. Coaches would send me my money back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, someone's going to believe in me eventually.
And then it just worked out for you.
Yeah, it did.
Like, even with bodybuilding, like, how did you put that manifestation towards a career in bodybuilding, right? Because it started off as a hobby. Like, did that manifestation...
Yeah.
Was that something
I never, like, I don't want people to think I made money directly from prize money. I didn't. So I'm not saying that. I know people are like, oh, but he never, placed or went to the Olympia. Correct. However, I use that to, to run and promote my... personal training business. Yeah, and I'm able to help people through that.
You're actually one of the earliest people in the personal training business as well.
Yeah, well, again, I started so young, I was able to help people from young. But I was never really like, throughout my career, I was never focused on personal training. I had some clients here and there, but I used to work with disabled kids. Yeah. For the Toronto Catholic Board. That's what I did, work with like autistic and Down syndrome kids.
See, that's beautiful right there.
Yeah, because again, I like to help people, and they gave me probably more than what I was able to give them. Yeah. So that was really cool.
So like, you're a big humanitarian in the sense that you like helping people, and you're also a bodybuilder, right? Yeah. Do you think, like, when you go to these sort of events, you go see these type of people, do they judge you because of what you do for a living, like as a bodybuilder? People, or do you think it's a lot more open now?
Well, people who don't know me judge on appearance, more muscular, tattoos, so they're gonna start piecing things together. It's human nature to do that. Yeah. Right. People will judge before they actually get to know, and that's cool. Like, I'm not hating on that. It's normal. Yeah. You should. That's actually that. Judging things like that could keep you out of trouble. So it's human nature. It's instinctual to do that. Yeah. But again, once people get to know me, they watch my social media, or they talk to me, they say, hey, this guy's not an idiot. Like, he's pretty educated. He's knowledgeable, especially about certain things like fitness related. And man, like, I just want to help. So people are open to it.
Dude, that was actually really well put. Like, that was really well put. Like, I never thought of that. Yeah. But when you were working with like kids with autism and stuff like that, like, did that really touch you, like, as an individual? Is that something because of how you were brought up? Like, were you around kids with autism?
No, not even
out of love.
No. Yeah, I just loved it, and I like to help. Yeah. And honestly, seeing like how grateful these kids were for the littlest things, it puts things in perspective. Like, I don't have a problem. I have zero problems. Yeah. Like, these kids will never go on a first date. They will never have or maybe they go on a first date, but it's never going to be like, will they pick a girl up because they can't drive? They'll never have a regular job. Yeah. They're not going to get to experience things that we take for granted every day. Yeah. And that really put things in perspective, because the amount of joy they would get when I brought Mr. C, they call me Mr. C. So Mr. C would bring them downstairs to the calf to get cookies, how happy they would be. I'm like, man, I gotta maybe start eating cookies again. I gotta bring it back, because the joy they're getting, and I'm like tripping out over stupid things in my life. So that's what I'm saying. I think they gave me more than I was able to give them, and I always remember, and I'm super grateful for that time in my life. That
was really beautiful.
Yeah, dude, I recommend it to everyone, and like, if anyone could do it, it's just such a beautiful thing to connect. And again, people in like modern society, they're so quick to judge. I see someone with autism or Down syndrome or whatever disability they may have, and they judge. Yeah. They judge, but they don't realize they have their own characters. Yeah. They have their own things that they like. And I feel like that's something that touched me the most, because I was one of those people who, not like in a negative way, but I would like kind of judge in my head. And then when you get to see how like some of the autistic kids, they remember things to the date, to the time of something that happened 10 years ago. Or some of them had this amazing ability in their nonverbal to draw beautifully. Yeah. I'll never forget, there was one time a teacher asked me to help a certain student, like, you know, with coloring. And I'm thinking, like, it's just going to be scribbling it. This kid's, like, he had, like, a book. He couldn't talk, so I usually have to talk to the teacher or try to, like, he'd try to use his hands or whatever to try to talk to me. And no, I don't know his sign language, but he would, like, tap. He'd, like, have, like, let's say, certain pictures, and he'd say, I feel like this, or I need to go to the bathroom. So he would know that. So it was, like, time for him to color. He opened his book. I swear to God, I almost started tearing up because it was like art. Like the ability, and a lot of autistic kids are like this. They're able to zone in on one thing so well and execute every aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that's like a skill. To be able to do that and execute and every finite detail. And I saw this and I'm like, wow, like this is incredible. Yeah. So there's a lot of situations like that just open my eyes to like have a lot more respect for people with disabilities.
Do you think like that, like those moments that you had with those kids, did it translate to you as an individual and how you are nowadays?
It made me more grateful. It humbled me a lot, and it made me more understanding of more, you know, different people in certain situations, people coming from different backgrounds. And like as humans, everyone's just different. They come from different cultures, different upbringings, you know, different traumas. But seeing these kids is like, even the worst trauma that I have, it's nothing compared to, you know, being nonverbal. Or being needing help to go to the bathroom. And the fact that they could still smile and they're still happy, I'm like, I gotta just shut up and just be more than happy. Like I'm able-bodied. I got a roof over my head, I got food on my plate, and I get to do what I love every day. I have no right to bitch about nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
There's like a really famous quote by Paul Walker that like, our problems are so small because there's somebody in a hospital bed that would kill to be in your position.
Yeah, and he's bang on. Bang on. He was a smart guy. I like Paul.
He was really smart.
He was a good guy. Yeah.
Really nice cars as well.
Oh man, yeah. He was obviously a car guy. He could drive a car amazing, and he had a great, you know, appetite for good cars, which I like because I'm not a car guy, but I respect nice cars. Yeah.
I think every guy's you know, even if they say they don't like cars.
For sure. You pull up in a nice Ferrari, they'll become a car guy really quick.
Yeah.
Right?
But like back to like, you know, the work you've done with kids, right? Is that something you still do and you're still very
No, I don't anymore. I don't work with kids anymore. Once I turned pro, because it was tough because like getting my meals and I'd have to like sometimes tell the teacher I was with that I'm like going to the bathroom because it's frowned upon to go and eat, because most people like in modern society there's like breakfast, lunch, dinner. So you'd have a lunch break. So if I say I'm going to put food in my mouth, you're going to say, well, lunch already passed, but I'm on meal 3. I don't operate by breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm eating 6 meals a day, so that like my meal 3 is just kind of in the middle of nowhere, like 2 o'clock when I already had lunch. So I just say, you know, could I go off and I'd sneak in and try to eat food. So once I turned pro, I'm like, I got to take this more seriously if I want to try to be good. So I left that behind. But I was very grateful for that. And now I also do like security and personal bodyguard work, close protection work as well.
If so that's you were my bodyguard, I'd be fucking happy. You know, nobody's coming up to me.
But I try to like, I still take that like passion and care I have for people. So when a client hires me or whatever my job is, I take that very seriously. Like they're my own. Like you're my brother.
Like give it that 100%.
Yeah, I'm so passionate, man. I'm just like, for me, it's either 90% or nothing. I'm either helping you or I'm going to be at home on my couch. There's no in between. Yeah.
So like back to that trauma thing, you know, I think that's something, you know, that a lot of people go through.
Yeah. Everybody has trauma. Different levels, but even the rich kid has trauma, because the rich kid now has higher expectations because his dad is, you know, like CEO of Apple or whatever, for an example, right? Just very high accomplished rates in his family. So that rich, you know, trust fund kids have tough times too, man.
But like, you know, trauma is like something I think a lot of people don't really think about. Like it's something that's always just lingering.
Because a lot of people aren't aware, because they don't take accountability. Because they don't look in the mirror and, you know, think, how can I better myself? It's so easy nowadays with social media to always be distracted. You go from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship, and you could just drag everyone through the mud with your problems, and now you're like almost bleeding on people when you never took accountability at any point to fix yourself.
You never sat there and reflected.
100%. And how are you going to be better as a man? It's like men also need to be better, because we need to be at the top of our game. And I feel like with that, there's been this whole twist with like feminism. I feel like if men were alpha and leaders and strong providers, and women felt safer around strong men, their nature would just be to fall back and to be submissive and I know I'm going to get slack, chill, let me explain. Submissive in a point where they're able to let the man be a man, and from a man being, you know, again, masculine and understanding his role as a man, he's able to allow a woman to be feminine.
Yeah.
Women are supposed to be softer. I'm not saying in the workplace per se, but at home. That's why they're able to raise kids better. Yeah. That's why they're natural nurturers. That God made women be able to get pregnant and have kids for a reason. No man can nurture a child like a woman can. It's not an argument. It's not an argument. But men are supposed to be more physically strong. That's why God gave us more testosterone and more muscle, because we are natural hunters. So again, I feel like if we trace things back a little bit, society would fall back into its natural healthy phase. But with social media and the government and all these things, and like women almost getting like tricked into like, you know, hey, don't let men be better than you. We're supposed to be different. There is no better. Yeah. Men have things like women and men are different, but we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say that, anytime I say that, man, I'll talk to a girl and say we're different, and automatically they assume that I'm saying like men are better. I'm like, no, women are way better at certain things, and men are better at certain things. That's why we're a team.
Yeah.
That's why but that's why I like women, because they're not men. Like, I don't want to date a man. I want to date a woman for those aspects. Like, I have my boys who I can have certain combos with, and I can have a woman who I would want to raise a family with. I can't raise a family with my buddy. I need that feminine. Men need that feminine energy to have successful, you know, families. And I feel like that's been shunned on by the media and the government, because they obviously have different agendas. And without like a nuclear household, it's a lot easier to infiltrate a broken kid's mind. Yeah. If you come from a broken home, because again, the system's not in place, there's no men and women working healthy. There's like a battle for this alpha position, because, you know, maybe the guy's a little more beta and soft, which again is his fault and he needs to work on that. But if things kind of just went back maybe 20 years, the divorce rates were lower. There's a lot less crime, less broken homes, less kids on the streets.
Yeah. So
what are we doing now that we were not doing, or vice versa, 20 years ago? And people are scared to ask these questions because they're like, I don't know. It's like some people have a plug from CP24 on the TV going into their head and they can't think for themselves. They're just sheep. It just downloads in the head. It's like, disconnect the plug, just analyze, sit back. Now, then, what's different? Shit, things are crazy now. Okay, well, it's different back then. Can we change things? Even though the media is saying, you know, all this bullshit on about a lot of topics, we could change that.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like maybe this generation is a little bit softer. I'm born in the 80s, so maybe, I don't know.
Yo, but in general, like the topic that you're touching upon, I don't think a lot of people want to talk about.
No, they don't, because everyone's oversensitive on social media, and everyone, even with this, I guarantee you, people are going to find things to find offensive.
Yeah.
And I feel like this generation is soft, and it's a shame. But I feel like if people were to just focus on their goals and find what makes them happy, you'll naturally come into happiness.
Yeah.
But if you're lost and you're jealous and you have nothing to focus on, you're going to be at home and you're going to be upset because you haven't done anything with your life, and you're going to hate on people. It's just it'd be a natural thing to fall into.
Yeah, like I think that's something, you know, a lot of people don't even want to talk about. It's just accountability and taking action.
Yeah, because it means you got to change.
Yeah,
it means you got to own your actions. And people don't like admitting when they're wrong. People don't like thinking like I could be better. But the more reflecting you do, the better you're gonna be. Yeah. Why not do it? Like, it's only doing you better. You'll have better relationships with men. You'll have better relationships with women. You'll be more respected. You'll probably have better job positions because people can respect you and respect your word more. You'll have a better positive impact on society. I'm sure your family will respect you more. Life is maturing. If I was the same person I am now as I was when I was a kid, I'd be talking different. I wouldn't know shit. But again, sometimes pain, especially for men, I believe the more pain you go through, if you're able to convert it, it's the more benefit you can have on yourself to have more of a warrior-like mindset and forge your mind into something great. Because if you're soft and coddled your whole life as a man, it's like you have no experience. The best soldiers aren't made from sitting at home. It's like if you look back in the day with the Romans, how do you become a captain? From surviving the most wars, from going through the most stuff and having the most battle scars. It's the same thing with developing personality.
I was actually just going to talk about the Romans right now.
Yeah, brother.
Like that's like something even a lot of Italian people are very prideful of, like the 100%. Roman Empire.
Yeah,
that was once something that they had. You know?
It's Colosseum is still there.
Yeah, and like that's something people still like. They're very proud of it, right? You know, because it was one of, if not the biggest empire in the entire world. And to think that just such a small country was able to have that.
But mind you, okay, so back then, I'm not sure if you know, but the countries were divided differently.
Yeah.
So people from like Portugal and France, they were able to be Roman soldiers. It wasn't just Italians.
I didn't even know that.
It was. So it was a certain part of Europe that were allowed to fight. Because again, we're talking like thousands of years ago. It was not like the countries are not portioned off in Europe like they were back then and how they are now.
Yeah.
So there were different qualifications. But again, I feel like, Portuguese, I'm Italian. We have very similar upbringings, very similar morals and values.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's like we're kind of the same. Unfortunately, with all the mass migration, that's changed things up. But like traditional Europe, definitely a lot of similarities with how we were raised in different countries. Yeah.
Like back to like that trauma thing, right? Like if you were to say anything to any man or woman watching this video and they're going through something in their life, right? Or even in general, they're going through like an existential crisis, personality crisis. What would you say to them as somebody that's already been through
I'd say, hey, look, your traumas are normal. So don't feel like isolated in terms of you're the only person going through things. Everyone's going through things. So that should help you be rest assured that you're not alone. As humans, we all suffer certain things, but the best thing you could do is first of all, remove yourself from any reoccurring traumas. It's very hard to heal from trauma when you're still going through it on the back end, okay? So if you can remove yourself from that, find what you love and put that trauma and pain into something positive, you can make a career out of it. You can help other people. How cool would that be if you could use your trauma to benefit other people, to help them fight your trauma or their trauma based off of what you have been through? I think that'd be something amazing. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people want. But again, until you take accountability, you'll always be the victim in your own mind.
Yeah. So like everything, you just talked about is kind of like, it's like a funnel. Like what we
100%,
started off
man.
at the top, like, now
100%.
like, the conversation is a lot deeper. But in general, everything you talked about, they touch with everything else that you've talked about, right? And I think that's something. That's
and
really
honestly,
nice,
man, it's like everyone has childhood trauma, and then from there, it's like, what are you going to do with it? I went through a bad path, and I made mistakes, and I feel like I was a product of my environment, to be honest, because I came from a lot of dysfunction, and I was dysfunctional. So it's like generational trauma almost just took me off my feet, and I was just going with that wave until I like put my foot down. I'm like, hey, okay, I'm on a road to nowhere, so I got to kind of figure shit out here.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I was kind of able to do that through a lot of self-isolation. A lot of pain, man. A lot of pain, a lot of tears, a lot of dark nights. But I made it, and I feel like, especially and I emphasize men because men nowadays, they go through some trauma, and they're like the victim for the rest of their lives, and they don't utilize that. Pain is amazing because you can utilize pain to be good. Anytime I got my heart broken or I was going through anything, financial issues, any issues, family issues, I ended up in the gym. So think about it. If I didn't have this terrible, whatever, all the trauma I went through, I would not be who I am today. I wouldn't want to be in the gym as much.
Yeah.
I might be working in a cubicle 9 to 5. Not that it's a bad thing, but everything that happened in my life pushed me in this direction. And it's funny because I remember praying to God many times, asking for strength. And I wasn't just given the strength on a silver platter. It's like you're given the obstacles to either jump over if you want to succeed, or you could just subdue to them and be the victim the rest of your life. So, and that's another thing. I'm a big believer in God, and I know everyone's got their own religions, but every religion usually has a God. So whatever your religion is, be faithful. It keeps you accountable and it keeps you locked in. And I feel like that's really the only way you could level up is if you have accountability.
Yeah.
If you're just blaming other people and pointing fingers, that's gross. That's a terrible trait to have.
And bro, like even like with the 3 podcasts that we've done so far, including yourself, right? Like I think one thing I've personally picked up on is manifestation is super important. If you want to be successful,
it's real.
You got to believe in something higher above because what you give is what you get.
Yeah.
And another thing is that, if you don't take accountability, nothing's going to change. Like you're going to be exactly where you were 5 years ago.
Yeah, how are you going to change?
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that's for you to manifest into this person you want or you need to be, without accountability, you'll never ascend to that.
Yeah.
Because you're essentially looking into the ascended version of that 2.0 version of yourself. And things need to change because the definition of insanity is doing the same things on repeat, expecting different results.
Yeah.
So you're not going to do it just by doing that. You need to put yourself in that position. How are you going to do that? First thing, accountability. What can I do differently?
Yeah.
Am I doing my best? What have I done in the past that has screwed up? And you just go from there. That's what accountability is.
Not only that, like you, Mr. Raptors, LocoINK, one thing that you guys all said is you're doing, like where you guys are now is because you love what you're doing,
100%,
right? And I think that's something a lot of people don't even think about. Like, I gotta go to school. I need to get a job. I gotta do this because my parents.
Because the thing is, I think generationally, a lot of people just do what their parents do or have told them to do because they're living at home. sometimes like my parents hated what I did.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a lot of traditional households that's normal, because what parents would be like, my kid's gonna be a bodybuilder? What are you doing? Go like get a regular job. Like it's so foreign. But again, I feel like to be a man, you need to detach yourself and be able to really look in the mirror and say, what do I want?
Yeah.
My life is not about my parents or my friends or it's about me. How am I gonna be better? So yeah, if you want to actually achieve something, detach yourself, locate your balls, use them, and focus on killing it every day. And again, it's okay if you're not with your friends all the time. Everyone's got different goals. People have this like social anxiety almost where it's like, oh my God, or not social anxiety, FOMO. They have this fear of missing out. People are at the club and they're doing getting girls with guys. It's always about getting girls. Don't worry. Girls will chase you if you're on your grind and you're focused on being better. If you're just sitting around and you're a broke bum and you're focused on girls, I promise, none of them are focusing on you. Focus on being great. Focus on yourself. Elevating. Yeah, 100%. You need to focus on having purpose and providing some level of value to people.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, never mind just girls, good things will follow you. Money, business opportunities.
See, that was proper. That was something,
true.
that's
because
true,
on social media, man, I just feel like so many guys, like, they just focus on girls and on Instagram all day, just commenting on like models pages that have like 1 million followers. They don't know you. They're not. They don't care to know you. You're irrelevant. So if you want to get someone of higher status, and for like, if you want to get a higher status female, let's say you have an ideal person, and I would hope there's obviously more internal traits than just external traits. If you want to get a certain woman, you need to elevate yourself to that.
Yeah.
Because this girl deserves great things. If she's a good human, she deserves to be with a good man. And you're probably not there yet, which is okay, because even though you might not get her, if you elevate yourself, you will naturally attract someone of that same stature.
Yeah. Like if you don't respect yourself, nobody.
Yeah, man, and you gotta. Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta have your boundaries. You gotta focus in, and you just gotta execute. Because if not, like, I don't want to have a friend who's not like that. Never mind date somebody. So I don't blame women for not wanting to be with like a guy who's not focused. Now, I don't think necessarily a girl has to just wait at the finish line and wait for a guy who's got millions of dollars. I think it's really cool if a couple meets and a woman's able to help motivate and inspire her man to be great if he's got the vision. But the guy's got to have the vision. He's got to have the ambition. Yeah. Because again, if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to have a kid with someone who's a bum either. They shouldn't. Yeah. I would want to, if I was a woman, I'd want to be with someone who's focused and determined, even if he's not a millionaire yet. If he's got that mindset and that drive, and I support and believe in him, it's just a matter of time. Yeah. That's all it is.
See, and that's something, a lot of, like, I think especially in today's culture, it's just a hookup culture. I
people are scared of commitment.
I went to this girl, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And by the time, they actually wake up, they're fucking 29,
Yeah,
30.
But the thing is, like, and I get it, man, I'm in my late 30s now, I'm 37. And I've been through my 20s, and I was, a pro, and how do I say this without like this getting banned on Instagram? It's normal for women to want guys who are in shape in their 20s, but as a man, you have to ask yourself, what is your purpose? What are you trying to achieve? If you want to, build an empire, you need to have a down-ass chick instead of entertaining all these girls who want the attention of the whole village. It's not going to happen. It's going to cause chaos, toxicity, and headaches, and it's going to derail you. You need to be with a girl and friends, your whole social circle, not just a girl. You need to be in a circle that's going to enable you to do better and rise up. You could be banging all the hottest girls in the city, but none of them are bringing value to you, bro. All you're doing is wasting energy and time on these girls. So it's not just about how hot they are and how many. That's all bullshit. That's like a very narrow-minded mentality. And again, when you're in your like early 20s, I get it. Okay, your buddies think you're the boss and you're pimp. I get it. But if you actually want to like breed and make something great and have a legacy, you need a down-ass chick. 100%. To just be a ride or die. I think that has way more value than being with 100 of the hottest girls in the world. Because at the end of the day, what is it? It's just sex. and that's it. And at the end of it, you just wasted time and energy on nothing.
Yeah.
It's just very it's very temporary.
Even like what Loco said that one time he did the interview with him, it's like energy, he said. He's like, you know, if I give you energy, like it's gonna bounce back.
Me and Loco have had many talks about this, and we're on the same page, and he's 100% right.
So like, you know, I think that's something like you even just touched upon. Is like, if you're wasting your energy on a girl who doesn't give a shit about you, that energy's gonna bounce back.
Energy should be reciprocated, man. It's like you go to the gym, you put out, there's something you're getting back. If you're just giving, I think you're a simp. Like you're giving this energy that you work for, right? To be this I assume these people who are giving energy maybe aren't like as established mentally, but if you are, it's very silly to be investing into something that's not coming back. It's like me investing in a stock that's just going down and you're just putting money into it. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to yourself? You're almost torturing yourself. Put money or time or resources into something that is coming back at you and bringing value into your life. Any investment in life, whether financial or emotional, needs to be feeding you so you can grow and be better. Or else you're just an idiot, honestly.
Yeah, like, you know, I think, you know, your mentality, where you're at physically, you know, I think you're like kind of at the peak of like mentally, like you understand a lot.
Yeah, mentally, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And
For certain things, peak is a hard word, man, because I always like to think I'm getting better. I hope if you guys were to come back tomorrow, I'd be like 0.5% better.
Yeah.
And you come back in a week, maybe I'm 1% better.
But like, you know, you're very wise. Like that's something we could put.
It comes through a lot of trauma and a lot of accountability.
You got the physique or something, but like, you got the physique, like it's fucking crazy. You're jacked as shit.
You know what's funny? The physique only came as a byproduct to establishing myself psychologically, and mentally. The physique is literally a byproduct. And I tell people when I'm on the phone, people are giving consults, and they're just so like concerned about the physique, and I get it. But the best thing that you can walk away with is harnessing your mindset and building yourself up and allowing these hardships to make you better, and then the physique just comes with it. Yeah. And then at the end of it, not only do you have a good physique, but now you have an asset, which is on your shoulders, that you could also help people and build yourself. Yeah. In many different ways. It's like I take what I have in bodybuilding and I could apply it to different things, that extreme mindset and understanding hardships and going through hard times, because if you have delayed gratification, you can focus on the end goal, you just live in that tunnel, man, you'll just run through fucking concrete walls to get it. But that doesn't happen unless you're able to, take your shots, take your cuts and bruises, and take the accountability and just heal and grow. And it takes time, bro. Going, it takes time. Yeah. Yeah, wisdom takes time.
But you got, both of those very good qualities as an individual.
Thank you. Yeah, I try. I'm just another man. I'm just another human on this earth trying to find his way and his place and just trying to be the best that I can. Yeah.
Like, do you think there's somebody you looked up to get to where you are?
At different points in my life, I looked up to different people. Yeah. I think when I was younger, wanting to be a bodybuilder, I looked up to Arnold. I looked up to Ronnie Coleman. Now that I'm older and I look for business, I like Dan Bilzerian. I like the fact that Dan thinks outside the box. He's not afraid to speak his mind, even though millions of people may hate it or disagree with him. He's true to himself. And as a man, you need to stay true to yourself, because if not, you have no principles, no values, no boundaries. You're a wish-wash. Yeah. And I feel like if society had more stand-up men, honestly, the government probably wouldn't be pulling all the shit that they are now, but the best way to weaken a society is by weakening their front line, and that's solid men. Yeah. So I like Dan, and I'm also a Tate fan. I do like Tate. I don't agree with everything he says, but the morals and things that he doesn't put out for rage bait, he does a lot of rage bait. People take it too literally. But him as an essence, to his core, I think as a man, he's putting out good content and he's helping to strengthen men mentally.
Yeah, I think that guy as an individual, he created more millionaires than I ever realized, right? Like a lot of people 100%. Got their shit together because when he was talking to him,
he's very so real, man.
Honest.
He's real and he's raw.
What the fuck are you doing in your life, man?
And he's very smart, dude.
Yeah, super smart.
He can talk about almost anything when he's serious, because again, he has his rage bait stuff that he gets for clicks, but when he's serious and he's talking about knowledgeable things, he's extremely intelligent. Yeah,
and I think, if you separate the personality from the individual, he is an individual, somebody, I think
he's his own brand, dude. Yeah. He's on another level.
That guy,
he's on another, not just with investing, but with his insight on life and knowledge. You'd almost think the guy's like 90 because he's got so much knowledge and wisdom. But he gained that through hardships. Him and his brother were broke. They used to go splits on like KFC
and shit. Yeah, I saw that video.
So again, if he was just handed these millions, he'd just be another rich kid.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have anything that came with that, but his hardships has forged his mind into this like warrior like mindset, which I love.
Yeah.
I'm all about. All like my tattoos are representative.
Your tattoos are like, you can even show the camera.
Yeah.
They're fucking crazy.
This is all LocoINK. Loco. This is free marketing for you, brother. The neck and the chest piece I just got, which obviously you can't really see, but
Yo, so like when we were doing the Loco interview, he was actually there. He saw the
Yeah,
entire thing.
yeah.
He had a tattoo. We didn't even know.
yeah, at a tattoo session.
Like
Yeah.
honestly, one of the most supportive individuals I've ever met.
For sure, man. I
You're
appreciate
very
that.
humble.
Appreciate
as well.
that.
Like that's
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. Loco's solid, man. I like to try to talk to Loco even outside of tattooing. I know he's a crazy busy guy, but he's someone who has that again. But he's kind of come from nothing, man.
Yeah.
And you find the same like repetitive scenarios where guys who don't really come from much or broken homes or whatever, they come from. Even if you can have, let's say someone comes from a family of money, and they're broken spiritually and emotionally, psychologically, maybe because you know what they came from. You're still coming from zero.
Yeah.
You're still coming from zero.
And that's
that wasn't
something-
my situation, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Like you and him are also pretty good friends as well.
Oh yeah,
right?
man.
Like,
Yeah, I connect well with Loco. Again, we're very similar,
Yeah.
and I respect him, and I know he respects me as well. So yeah, we click really well.
dude, that's amazing. You
Yeah,
know?
man. It's important to have like a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Because there's so much outside influence, unfortunately, that could, if you don't have a tight brotherhood, it's almost like water in a ship, and it just pulls things apart, and eventually the ship will sink.
Like iron sharpens iron, bro.
That's right. That's a good one. I like that. Iron
But
sharpens
like
iron.
any last words you want to say like to what man and woman watching this video to take
I know
away,
I know I speak a lot of men. I love women, obviously, but I like to speak on men because I feel like it's men in society that are being deemed like toxic just for having masculine traits, and I feel like through that, unfortunately, men have softened, and then it's almost like women have to become more masculine because this like imbalance is like someone's got to lead the household, someone's got to have balls. And I feel like if men were able to really not just locate their balls, but have focus, provide safety, and allow basically their women. You can't just expect necessarily a woman to be feminine and soft if she's single, because she's probably in her masculine trying to just live and survive, which is normal. But if a man comes in her life who is able to make her feel more feminine, which my point is takes work to be accountable and to go through, all the shots and low blows in your life and always come out better. A woman is not going to want to be like submissive to a man who's just very soft and weak. She's going to want to provide and be beside a man who's solid. So I want to help make men solid. It's funny, actually. I was at Pizza yesterday after work, and there was like 6 or 7 guys in there that ended up like, they were asking. I was literally in there for like 30, 40 minutes, and they were asking all these questions about, me and my life and what I've been through and what I would recommend to them to be better. First of all, if you're young and you're watching this, the first thing I would say is start investing. At a young age, put money in the stock market, start letting your money work for you, basically, and stop spending your money on dumb shit. You don't need to, look rich to actually end up being rich. I think a lot of people focus too much on that, which is shallow-minded because social media. You could still, guys, I buy a lot of my clothes from Shein. Like, it's plain, it's cheap,
Yeah.
and if you're in shape and you look good, you're going to look good with whatever you're wearing. So again, focus on being better, looking your best. Because when you look good, you feel good, you're going to be in shape, you're going to be able to provide more value to people around you, people on your social media. And women are going to want to be around you because they feel safe. They feel like you're not a loser, you have some direction. So again, I emphasize men because if men are better in society, I feel like society will naturally come back to what it was before. But, if you're like this beta unplugged guy, there's still hope for you. Just get a gym membership, and I feel like it all starts with that, because when you sharpen your mind and you attract good things, usually, and you believe in God, you're a God-fearing man, things will end up falling in place.
Yeah, what about even just closing thoughts with mental health? Like you've been through it a lot. You've been through it.
Mental health is a tough one because a lot of people find their vices. I'd say if you could have a healthy vice, obviously, because drugs are very accessible and it's very natural and it's a fast effect. Going to the gym sometimes takes time to start feeling better. You could take drugs right now and feel better in 5 minutes. So I know that's a very tough one because addiction is real. But if you could find something positive or positive people in your life to surround yourself with that have good habits, you are usually a product of your 5 best friends around you. So if you're able to even do that, step 1, surround yourself with good people. Step 2 would naturally be following in what they do. And if they're people who go to the gym, you're going to end up going to the gym. So surround yourself with good people. Take accountability. Don't be scared to reach out. You know, I'd rather have my friend cry on my shoulder than end up carrying his coffin in 2 weeks, because 80% of suicides are for men. Men are leading by a mass majority in the suicide department, which says a lot. There's a big imbalance, and it's for a reason. Men have a lot of pressures in society that, I guess women don't. And again, not that women don't commit suicide, but for men, it's just really important that, you're on top of your mental health and you're trying to be better day to day. That's it.
So you heard it from the man, Mr. C.
Mr. C. Mr. C. It's been a minute since I heard that.
But, Mr. Mike himself, bodybuilder,
yes,
philanthropist,
yes,
and he's also keen on mental health,
yes.
humanitarian.
Yes.
So, the main man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you. God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. Good luck, and never be scared to chase your goals. Thank you.
That was amazing.